Graeme, I know you'll have been delighted to get Australia all out for 128, but were you surprised to have got them all out so quickly in the way you did?
I don't know if surprise is the right word. We'd have certainly taken that at the start of the day. Obviously turning that to 7-9 or 2-8-9, whatever it was probably a bit under par. We realised that we had to get as many as possible in the first innings because we thought it was about a 400 pitch. So to get 350, we reluctantly accepted. But to then bowl Australia out for so far behind that, would have bitten your arm off at the start of the day.
Yeah, I mean, batting looked pretty straightforward when you and Stuart were there. You've said it was a decent pitch. How come we've had 16 wickets falling?
I don't know. Cricket's a funny old game, isn't it? I think it's a mixture of good bowling, a bit of outrageous fortune here or there. And it's just one of those days. Sometimes wickets fall, sometimes they don't. And today was one of those wicket days.
It's still a match you can't really lose from here, though, isn't it, from an England point of view?
I'm not going to count my chickens. There's three days to go. And you saw the Australians, they're not going to lie down and just take it. They bounced back really well tonight with those 3 wickets. So that will have buoyed them, and it will force us to regroup in the morning and say, come on, we recovered in the first innings from 3 quick wickets and posted 350. We need to do that again.
Yeah.
Graeme, where does a day like that rank for you personally, getting your name on the honours board and your best Ashes figures?
It's very pleasing, obviously, from an individual perspective. I'm up on the honours board once before in a game against Pakistan that was obviously tainted. And so to get it up there in an Ashes game, it's like a boyhood dream. So, I was for a while thinking I might get on the batting board this morning, but agonisingly fell 72 runs short.
Graeme, are you surprised at all about how Australia's continually getting their reviews wrong?
I don't really know. It's certainly nice for us when the Australians get them wrong. I think Jimmy Anderson proved at the end of the day that we don't get them all right. He probably had the worst one I've ever seen right near the end of the innings. I think he was just desperate for me not to get 5 wickets, to be honest, when he reviewed that ropey leg before near the end.
Was there any worry with your arm? Was it ever a threat?
There was a bit of a worry the first 2 or 3 overs I bowled. I didn't have a great deal of feeling in my hand. I had a few grip issues because of the blow on the arm. But they disappeared shortly after I got my 2nd wicket when I realised that it was going quite well and my luck may be in today after the Rogers dismissal. My arm started behaving itself a bit more.
I was going to say, regarding Chris' dismissal, have you ever gotten a wicket LBW with a worse ball?
I'm not sure there's been a worse piece of cricket in Test history. I'm delighted to be a centre of that. I'm sure he's as embarrassed about it as I was. It's just one of those freaky things. It completely slipped out of my hand. It did well to even be going anywhere near the wickets. I've just seen the replay, it wasn't even hitting them, but I think it was out.
Do you think the lack of review was at least in part because of the shock of the whole, the sequence of...
It looked absolutely stone dead. That's a strange thing. When it actually hit him, it looked stone dead at LBW. And even I've seen the Hawkeye review. It's got it missing by 6 inches. That's nonsense.
Graeme, did that middle session between lunch and tea feel a little strange? It wasn't as though a bowler got on a run and the force was with someone. Wickets seemed to tumble in a variety of strange ways. Did it seem strange how Australia managed to lose 6 for 54?
I suppose, yeah, because you normally put sessions down, like you say, like that to one guy just having a blistering 5-over spell or the ball suddenly turning square. There was certainly the Rogers dismissal that was very strange. I think the others were fairly straightforward dismissals. It was, like I say, it was one of those days where wickets just fell. And you're just happy that you're on the bowling side when that's happening. But I can't put my finger on why it happened.
You had that one ball down the right spot, made the right angle straight to first look. What did they get confidence heading into the second innings? You feel like you can take 10 Australian wickets?
It does nothing at all because that was actually an arm ball, and I promise you that the ball that's turned the most in my entire career was supposed to go straight on. You say it hit the right spot, it hit completely the wrong spot because a ball that's pitching sort of 1.5 foot outside off stump will never take a wicket. There is a bit of rough out there to work with, but the main part of the pitch that I care about is the benign bit in the middle. And that needs another day's baking under the sun, and that needs to start breaking up and start turning a lot more before I'm before I start waving grandiose comments about we're going to win this game.
Last couple.
Graeme, there was a suggestion on Twitter that England had encouraged Watson to go for the referral. Would you do such a thing as a team?
I don't know. I was running down to third man to fetch the ball, to be honest. So I think that happens quite a lot. You always say, go on, do it. You normally do it when you hope they don't. It's kind of a double bluff. It's like a game of poker. If you think it might not be out after all, you say, go on, waste it. So the batsman doesn't do it, and then we win. But I don't know if we did it on that occasion. I'm glad Chris Rogers didn't do it.
Last one.
Graeme, can you explain the difference between a Sri Lankan who edges to slip and is a cheat and a England teammate who edges to slip and is not a cheat?
Yeah, I suggest you go and watch the footage of that Sri Lankan incident and then come back to me.